Hey everyone, welcome to the Vegan Trinity. I'm Trinity and I'm so excited for this episode specifically. This might just be my favorite episode, but I'm not going to call it just yet. Today's episode is about ethics, the ethical implications around veganism. So this is a very loaded topic, one that is extremely near and dear to my heart. Ethics is the reason that I am vegan. Ethics is veganism. So yeah, this is a pretty difficult topic, a pretty heavy one that I'm extremely passionate about. So I'm excited to get into this with you guys. And I'm trusting that everything will be well received, that it will touch hearts, and that it will change things, because this is the only argument for veganism. There are a million benefits for veganism, but the animals are the reason that we need to be vegan. We should not be eating animals. All right, so I'll start out with the opening statistic. So within the United States alone, tens of billions of animals are slaughtered annually. Tens of billions of animals every single year. So that equates to over 55 million animals killed every single day, which equates to 28,000 animals every single minute. So since I've been speaking, since this video started, over 28 million animals have been slaughtered. That's absolutely mind-boggling, soul-crushing, and disgusting, and that is reason alone to go vegan. One vegan person spares roughly 200 lives every single year. That is such an immense impact, and there are a few other things in this world that we can do that have that impact. So I firmly do believe that is reason enough to go vegan, but in case anyone needs to hear anything else, I shall continue. But before I do, I'm just going to ask a couple questions just to get everyone thinking. So first off, would you eat a chicken? Why eat a chicken and not a dog? These are rhetorical, so I'm not going to answer them. Why would you eat a chicken but not eat a dog? Also, would you eat your pet if you got hungry enough? Additionally, would you kill the animals that you eat yourself? Lastly, have you seen Earthlings and Dominion on YouTube? If not, please watch them. I'll mention them again later in this video, but Earthlings and Dominion, those are two different documentaries that are free on YouTube. They'll be linked in the description below. Please give those a watch. If you are not vegan, if you are vegan, every single human being should watch those two documentaries. They speak about the animals' lives. They are imperative to watch. Earthlings on YouTube and Dominion on YouTube. They are both linked in the description below. All right, so now I'll get into it just a little bit more. So cows and other farm animals whose flesh and secretions, so meat and eggs and dairy, which I'll get into why those are in quotes in a little bit, but those products are consumed by meat eaters and vegetarians alike. And they are deeply sentient social beings. These animals they have families, they have friends, they have children, they understand. Just like you and I understand things and have knowledge and feelings and emotion and passion, so do they. They each have their own personalities. They enjoy physical contact, being pet, scratches, chin scratches, hugs. They enjoy more or less the same things that we do. They're only different than us. They are not less than us. Instead of having these beautiful things that we have in our lives, they know nothing but severe and extreme suffering by the hands of us, by the hands of me for 13 years of my life, until I realized that I was wrong and I needed to change, by the hands of you, maybe to this day, and hopefully this is the last day, and hopefully this is the day that you change. They live their lives in dark sheds, suffering in their own waste, in each other's waste, obtaining chemical burns from the ammonia that's produced from lying in this filth for their entire lives. It's horrific. These animals, they live among death, often piled under and trapped under the corpses of their counterparts who have died at the hands of us. So, it's truly disgusting. It's truly disgusting. It's absolutely unspeakable, but we must speak about it. We must look. We cannot look away. We must learn about this. After this video is over, we must continue diving deeper and learning more and talking about this and sitting with it. It feels horrible. Knowing that we're doing this feels absolutely horrible, which is why we need to know that we're doing this, which is why we need to speak about this. I haven't eaten flesh or secretions in 5 years, but still, billions of people do. So I would be wrong if I weren't spreading activism. So that's my obligation as a vegan person. Your obligation as a non-vegan person is to first go vegan. So yeah, we must speak about this. If you eat animals, you must know what you're doing. You must change. You must take off the blinders. Murder is wrong. Meat is murder. Meat is murder. So let's talk about why that's in quotes. So animals are not meat. Animals are beings. Would you call me meat? That would be so strange. If you looked at someone and called them meat, if you looked at someone and called them it's speciesist. So speciesism is the belief that one species is greater than another. So in this case, humans believe that we are up here and animals are down here. It's a completely arbitrary line. There are very few things that create that distinction between humans and non-human animals. Humans are animals. I was going to say between humans and animals. Humans are animals. So that's speciesism, saying between humans and animals, as if they are different beings, or putting one up here and one down here and treating one horribly. It's speciesism. So when I say how I mentioned it earlier, we'll look at a pigeon on the street and say, oh, it's running, it's flying, they are beings. You wouldn't look at a human being and say it. Why are we saying that for animals? Why are we calling cows steak? They are not products. They are beings. That is speciesism. So speciesist language is something that I absolutely want to speak about, and something that is extremely important to speak about. So a message to all of my vegan friends watching this, my people within animal rights. There is tons of speciesist language that exists just in the world. And it is absolutely our duty to not be complacent and crawl down and make meat eaters comfortable, but to call it out and to not contribute to it. It's something that I realize every single day. It's something that comes up every single day. So if this is your first time being introduced to speciesism and speciesist language, I urge you, please, make a mental note of it and just change it whenever it does come up, because it will continue to come up. Okay, continuing. So back to what these animals endure. Going into the life of McDonald's chickens specifically, this is something that I'm very familiar with, so I'll speak about it a bit. McDonald's chickens within the McDonald's supply chain are artificially bred to be extremely large, to the point where their legs can't even hold the weight of their bodies. So they're incapacitated and immobilized for the rest of their entire lives. They can't move the rest of their entire lives. They have those same ammonia burns from lying in their own waste their entire lives. They're tortured, they're slaughtered in these dark sheds across the world, not only just in the McDonald's chain, but across the world. Chickens, male chicks, the day they're born, they are slaughtered. They are killed. Female chicks, they reproduce to have eggs, and they're tortured their entire lives. The children are tortured their entire lives unless they were male, in which case they're put into a blender to be murdered because they cannot reproduce. It's torture through and through, and we should not be contributing to it. It is absolutely horrible. People will sometimes say, oh, well, the animals are put on earth for us. We have dominion over the land. Again, dominion on YouTube. It's torture, and we are the terrorists, and we must do differently. We must be vegan. It is our moral obligation to be vegan. No animal consumption is ever ethical under any circumstance. If we are killing animals, how could that be ethical? How is there humane slaughter? How are we humanely killing an animal that does not want to die? Cage-free, all of these things are complete nonsense, and we must stop buying into it. There is no distinction between ethics and veganism. If you are vegan, you are ethical, otherwise you are plant-based. People who are vegan for their health or vegan for the environment, of course these are amazing things, but you are plant-based. If we are decentralizing animals from that's plant-based, that's not vegan. I mentioned it in the first episode, I'll mention it again, the definition of veganism. Veganism is a way of living which seeks to exclude, as far as possible and practicable, all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. So if you are not eating animals, if you are if you're vegan, it's for the animals. Otherwise, it is plant-based. So I just wanted to make that point to centralize the animals within this, because that is what veganism is. This is about the animals. So that's all. This was a light and PG explanation of the walk of life that the animals go through, the very short walk of life that the animals go through. It's nothing but suffering and torture. So again, I urge you to look into this more and learn more for yourself. Dominion on YouTube, as well as Earthlings on YouTube. They will both be linked below. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned enough to help you make this switch. Please feel free to let me know in the comments what changes you're going to be making. Please let me know in the comments if you need any help. I would absolutely love to help. I'll be sharing a few links down below. Challenge 22, Veganuary. I'll share a couple links, just help you along your journey, because this is one that we all must make. So thank you all, and I'll see you in a week. But in the meantime, go vegan.